Welcome back to the Plays with Cars YouTube channel and another episode of Project Audi. This is our B8 generation Audi S4. It is our fourth different Project Audi here on the channel, and for the first time ever, it's the same Audi 1 year later. We started off with Uno, a B6 generation A4 with the 6-speed manual and the 1.8 turbo. We owned that for a day before we bought Dose, the B7 A4 2-liter with the red T on it, and that one had the really wild technology package with like the swiveling headlights and the heated rear seats and all that. And we had Dose for a while. I want to say just about a year, and we put a ton of miles on that car. Like tens of thousands in a year, and it was awesome. We really loved it, and so we replaced it with Trace, which was the B8 A4 2-liter 6-speed manual, and that's the car that we had for almost a year. We tried to sell it on Cars and Bids. That didn't go successfully. We ended up selling on Craigslist. If you go back through our playlist for Project Audi, you can watch all of those videos, and it culminates in picking this up last November. This is our S4, so the first in the line that is an S instead of an A, still a 6-speed manual because that's what we like here. But what we wanted to do today was celebrate 1 year of ownership of this car and kind of go over what it's been like to actually live with a B8 S4 nowadays, and what it costs to run, what it costs to maintain, what all modifications we've done to it, what kind of fun driving things we've done with it in a year, because this is the first Audi that we've really wanted to hold on to, and just, this is like a forever car. These things are unicorns, and we'll show you why. So starting off with details, this particular car is a 2011. It's the B8 generation, and it is deep sea blue pearl, which you can see here goes from this almost black color to, in the light, when you do get some light, we are fading here tonight, but it's got a lot of sparkle in it, some greens and some red flecks and stuff. It's a beautiful color. We love having one that's not grayscale. Uno was black, Dos was white, Trace was silver, so getting one in a color was a big deal for us. The other thing is, you can see this car has the extremely rare Alu-Optics package on it. So the side blades here are in the titanium finish that the mirror caps are, and then it also had a couple of different things that came on the Alu-Optics, but the grill's been changed anyway. It's got an RS grill on it with the chrome ring around it instead of the all blacked out package, in order to tie in with the Alu-Optics, because we really like the Alu-Optics, especially on the deep sea blue. It really sets it off. Now, the other thing about this particular Audi, other than being a color and Alu-Optics and a 6-speed manual, is its options. You can see here we have the Alcantara. This is the I think it's called silver, even though it's like white. People call it the Panda interior, the Oreo interior, but we have it in the Alcantara. We really like it. We had a whole episode just on cleaning the Alcantara and how you can take care of it. Obviously the 6-speed manual, you can see this car also has the nav, and most importantly, the Audi Drive Select with the Sport differential. And yes, it does make that much difference. After test driving a ton of S4s, both with and without the Sport Diff, there's no way I would own one of these without the Sport Diff. Without the Sport Diff, they are just understeering pigs. With the Sport Diff, they really go around the corners nicely. So moving on to modifications, obviously you can tell the wheels have been changed. This car came with peelers on it that were not in good shape, and it needed tires on top of it. So we ended up going a whole wheel and tire route. These are 19 by, I think they're 9.5 TSW Mechanicas in the silver and polished. And we got these from Fitment Industries. With the Continental Sport Compact, the DWS 06 Plus. Really happy with these tires. Really love this wheel combination. There are no spacers, no adapters, no anything, and you can see that the flushness here is really nice. Now obviously we do need to lower the car. That gap is a little much, but as far as where the wheels sit in relation to the body, this fitment is just perfect. We have a whole video on those wheels that I'll put with a pin up there so that you can check them out. The other thing that you can see from the outside is the brakes. We have changed the front single piston sliding calipers for fixed 4-piston calipers from a 3-liter Q5 or a Porsche Macan. So we got those, painted them up, put the S4 decals on them, and they worked great on our track days. So that's it for exterior stuff. We've got the wheels, the tires, the brakes, and the grille. The rest of the exterior is stock. Now, under the hood appears all stock, but we do have some modifications in here, mainly the metal oil filter housing piece. This one came from ECS Tuning, as well as having an actual dipstick, because you can't always get the computer thing to tell you what the oil is, and it's always great to be able to double check. That's about it as far as modifications under the hood go. The big modifications are the clutch. We have a South Bend Stage 2 Endurance clutch, as well as a JXB Performance extended slave cylinder, shift plate, and short shifter. And even with the JXB short shifter and shift plate, we are still running the factory boot and knob. Our whole goal with this car is OEM Plus. We basically want it to look and drive like a completely stock one, just turned up to 11. Be able to toss the keys to anybody and they can get in it and just go, and everything works. All the options, all the climate control, there's nothing crazy. You just get in it and go. So OEM Plus is what we're going for here, and that's why we've made decisions like this. But yeah, I wanted to show you this short shifter. Ready? That's it. That is the reverse there. And it just so smoothly, you could one finger it. Yeah, really, really happy with the JXB Performance products. And here's where it gets interesting. This is all of our paperwork on the S4 and every single thing we did to it for maintenance and mods for the first year of ownership, along with the purchasing paperwork. But a solid from here. All of that is just maintenance and mods, but maintenance and mods. These are all of the big things. The only thing I didn't put in here was oil changes. We did all of our oil changes ourselves. But you know, you buy an oil change kit, ECS, FCP, whatever, take your pick. You know, change the oil every 5,000. So this is not including oil changes because that just adds too much to it. But the basic gist of it is we paid $16,600 out the door for the car. And in the first year of ownership, we spent $14,250 in mods and maintenance. Now, that's a little bit of a misnomer. So I'm going to go over this. The first thing is AutoNation, where we bought the car from, and I was going to make a whole video on this, and it's too negative and I don't want to go there, but do not ever buy a car from them. It was not as advertised at all. It took us 6-7 weeks to get the car. Like, the whole thing was a fiasco. Anyways, they ended up cutting us a check for $700. So that brought the car to less than 16, made it 15.9 out the door. And then it did come with a warranty. It had I think it was a 90-day unlimited mileage warranty on it. And that warranty actually ended up paying out almost $5,300 in warranty work. The first one, there was a $2,700 charge. We ended up paying $986 out of pocket on that one, which sucked. But it was all the oil leaks. The valve covers were leaking. The rear timing covers were leaking. The oil filter housing was leaking. Everything was leaking. And so fixing all the oil leaks, the warranty ended up paying out almost $2,000 on that. And then the power steering rack was leaking, and on a Drive Select car on a B8, the steering rack is variable, so it's got tight steering and it's got like a looser like parking lot steering, two different modes, and it was stuck in one mode and leaking everywhere, and so they had to replace that rack, and that was over $2,000. So yeah, the warranty ended up doing a whole bunch of good there. So, you know, the warranty wasn't really, you know, helped out a bunch. So we really had about $9,000 in the car. But when you look at it, we did put wheels on it, those 19 by 9.5 TSWs. You don't need to do that, you know, so that's $2,000 that was, you know, extra in the car. And the same thing with the clutch. Like, yeah, it ended up needing a clutch, but a stock clutch is, you know, going to be $2,000 less than putting in a South Bend Stage 2 Endurance. Same thing with the brakes. It didn't need the brakes at all. In fact, the front brakes were in great shape, and they're in the garage. I've got them for sale. If you need some S4 front brakes, let me know. Like, that didn't need to be done at all. That was just so we could go track the car. So when you take out the things that we did because we were upgrading the car, so the big brakes, the big wheels, and the clutch, and drill it all down. We actually only spent $1,500 in maintenance, and that was doing most of the work ourselves. It did go to Audi service a couple of times, mostly for the maintenance items, but we did have them do a couple of under the car fluid services that we just didn't want to screw with. But everything else we did ourselves. So we did the plugs, the coils, did a water pump on it, and all the different pulley stuff that goes with it. So changed the tensioner and the idler and the belt. The supercharger, changed the oil in the supercharger, put a magnetic drain plug in it, changed the housing on the oil filter, put in the dipstick, and then we did all the short shifter stuff ourselves. So just about all the work on the car we've been able to do ourselves, and it's actually been quite easy to work on. It requires very few special tools, like make sure you have a Torx bit and a triple square set, and that's about it as far as special tools are required. But yeah, it really hasn't been that drastic. You know, like I said, you look at the big number, you're like, oh my God, but you know, you take out warranty work, you take out wheels and tires, you take out the modifications we did, and just look at maintenance, doing the water pump, doing the plugs and coils, all that stuff. It was only $1,500, and to own a car like that for a year and only have that much maintenance is pretty darn good. So I gotta say, I'm a bit shocked at the numbers in a good way from owning this car for a year. So after hearing the expenses that it took to own this thing, you're probably wondering, was it worth it? I'm going to say absolutely. This is probably the favorite car we've had yet. And we've had everything, Porsches and Z06 Corvettes and Cobra Mustangs and just all sorts of really fun stuff. I mean, like I said, it's our fourth different Audi. I really, really, really enjoy this car. I love the combination of its comfort and its speed and kind of its ability to just kind of blend into traffic and not really catch anybody's eye as far as that's concerned. But you could also pull into a car meet or a race and people know what it is, and as soon as they see the 6-speed manual and all the other fun stuff, they really want to talk to you about it. So it's just kind of this perfect combination between being a sleeper and an enthusiast car that I really, really enjoy. I could also say that, like, performance-wise, it's been great. I mean, we did 2 full track days with, what was it, 5? Yeah, 5 sessions each day. Most track days only have 3, so you're looking at 10 track day sessions in 2 days with this car, and it was absolutely perfect. And able to do really awesome laps and have a great time out there. I mean, just couldn't be happier with it. So we're really happy that Project Audi is here in our stable. We'll definitely be keeping this one for another year. First of all, this is it. I mean, other than the B8.5 facelift, there are no other manual transmission Audi sedans. That's it. They're done. The B9 comes in automatic only. Everything else is automatic only. There's very, very few true manual transmission sports sedans around, and it's not a race car. This is not going door to door. If we were doing that, you wouldn't start with some 4-door sports sedan anyway. We like a manual because it's more fun, and this is the Plays with Cars YouTube channel, not the Serious All the Time with Cars YouTube channel. So yeah, this is one of our unicorn cars. It's definitely a keeper. It will stay with us here in the family, so expect another update 1 year from now. But that's what it's been like to live with the B8 S4 here on the Plays with Cars YouTube channel. Hi, Shadow.